unpacking my car. It's full of crap. Gonna miss this place. All right, guys, so kidding aside, welcome to another video with my 2018 Tesla Model 3. So those that's watched my videos in the past, you may be wondering, where the heck am I at? Well, I told you guys in some previous videos, I was in the process of getting a new home and I was in the process of closing escrow. So I didn't have videos coming out because I was swamped with work, but I'm here now. Check out this view, great view. So I'm from LA, or live in LA currently, and I had to move a little bit away, a little more inland. I was living in Anaheim, but now I'm living in the mountains. It's really cool. It's away from the city, not as much traffic, but I love it right now. So I will talk about the house stuff a little bit later in another video. All right, guys, so this past weekend, after I got my internet set up, my 2018 Tesla Model 3 got the holiday update. So keep in mind, if you have a newer Tesla, the features may be slightly different. You may have updated features on your car, but I wanted to give you guys my perspective coming from a 2018 Tesla Model 3, what I got. The cool thing about Tesla cars is that, and newer cars coming out these days, is that they do continue to get software updates. Tesla's a little different, and I see that Rivian's kind of following suit, that they have a pretty big holiday update that they release pretty much at the end of the year, before New Year's, every year. I think that's good and bad, because sometimes people are disappointed if it doesn't have enough features. If it has great features, everyone's happy about it, but I think it's better if Tesla just, and everyone else, just give us the updates as they come. You don't have to bundle them up into some huge holiday update. I think it's cool, but it kind of, people have high expectations these days, because we've had some really cool Tesla Model 3 and just Tesla in general updates in the past. So yeah, it just, it leads to some disappointment sometimes. So this holiday update, I think, could have been, probably better, but it is what it is. I think it has some decent stuff involved in it. So let's talk about it. All right, guys, so currently we are on 2023.44.30.5.1. Gosh, that is a mouthful. So this update came like a few days ago, just to address some of the bugs that were present in the previous update. So the actual holiday update was 2023.44.30. So we're going to go through this list real quick. So first and foremost, I'm on full self-driving beta. Cool stuff. With the holiday update, it actually brought me FSD beta version 11.4.9. Previously, before this update, I was on 11.4.4, and I've actually tested 11.4.9 a little bit, and actually seems to be much better than 4.4. So that's always good to see some improvements there. I'm patiently awaiting for 12.1 or 12.2, whatever that is, when it's completely going to be running on the neural network, which is hopefully will address many of the issues I have with FSD. I know I get a lot of comments about, how do I feel about FSD? Can I make videos on FSD? I do want to do that. I do plan on doing that. But as of right now, it's just certain things that it's just not good at. So I don't use it like crazy. But I do want to, show you guys and tell you guys what my experience has been with it. But until it can address like construction zones, which still tend to be an issue, and do U-turns, which is a big thing in California, and some other things, it's just kind of sometimes unusable. But it's great on the highway. If you use it on the highway for long travel distances like that, it is great. But for just normal road to road, just, non-highway roads, it still has some work to be done. Driving visualization improvements, nothing too much changed here that I can notice, to be honest. Cabin camera, it can now determine if you're falling asleep, or how, if you're paying attention, things of that nature. So that's great. So if you're looking like you're drowsy or something like that, it may, beep at you or something like that. So it's always good to see some safety improvements. Apple Podcasts, I don't really listen to Apple Podcasts that much, but for those that do, you now have it in a Tesla, which is always cool. Tesla arcade updates. So a lot of the games were improved. Actually, Beach Buggy Racing, I have played that on several occasions. They actually added the Cybertruck, which is awesome. And then you got some updates. We got updates to PS4, PS5, and Xbox controllers functionality. So yeah, it's always good stuff. See that expanding. Automatic 911 calls. Your vehicle will call 911 if an accident triggers the airbag. So anytime that airbags are deployed in the vehicle, it would automatically call 911. So that's awesome. I think it will try to call it, give you a countdown, and you can choose to cancel it. I think that's what I heard, but I don't want to test it. Of course, I don't want to be in an accident, but it's good that it can automatically do that for you. So it's always good to see the safety stuff. Speed cameras on your route. So now on the navigation, when you're navigating to a specific destination, it will show what intersections have stoplights, which has stop signs, and when you may see a speed camera. So that's cool. Seems like it's trying to implement some of that Waze functionality there. Trip planner on mobile. So this is a cool update, so you can add stops and, add a destination directly in the mobile app and send that to the car. I think it's cool that if you have multiple people that has access to the Tesla app and this car specifically, if they're sitting in the rear seats, they can adjust the trip on the device and send that immediately to the car. So if the driver is busy, they may not be able to do it. So if someone has the app in the back, they can do that directly from the app. So it's cool. I tend to start my plan in the house, and then when I get to the car, I'll just, if it's somewhere I'm for sure going to go and I know before I get to the car, I'll just send it directly to the car that way. So I typically use Google Maps or Apple Maps to do that because you can do it that way as well. But now that you can make it, adjust it, customize it a little bit more in the mobile app, maybe I'll tend to use the Tesla app instead. So it's always cool stuff. Alternate routes while driving. So this is kind of a Google Maps, this has been in the car for a while now, but anytime you input a destination, it gives you about 3 different routes you can take. Now, when you're actually driving to the route or the destination in general, you will still have different routes. It will still kind of throw that information at you, which routes or different routes are available for you to take, and you can customize that to select a new route even while you're actually driving to the destination already. So that's cool. I think that's going to be useful on certain occasions. More cameras and live camera views. So in the app, when you have Sentry mode enabled, you can see cameras around the car. They've now added the B-pillar cameras, so they've added 2 more cameras. So I think now you may have maybe like 7 or so cameras or 8 cameras that you can see now, something like that, six or 7. So it's cool. You can just see more so what's going on around the car. So great stuff. Automatic blind spot camera. So when I was on Autopilot, or when you're trying to make a left or right turn, typically on the visualization display, it'll show the lane marking as red as well as the car red if they're in your blind spot. Now, if you have the blind spot camera enabled on your vehicle, which you can turn on and off, it will show kind of a red bar on the left or right side of that camera or video stream. So now you can see specifically another place where it can kind of alert you if something's in your blind spot. Cool stuff. Light Show added a new song. I believe it's called The Arrival. I've seen it on the Cybertruck as well as on this vehicle. So, cool song. Of course, Light Show, you can customize the Light Show to a song of your choosing. It takes a lot of work, but you can do that. So it's cool that Tesla adds their own, video or music with the light shows to the vehicles. But if you really want to, you really love that feature, you can customize it yourself, which they added, several years ago. So definitely look into that if that's something you're interested in. Autopilot suspension. So this is actually due to the NHTSA recall. It was just a software update. But in the past, if you were running FSD beta, if you were not paying attention, it beeped at you and it would deactivate FSD. And if you did that 5 times, you would be pretty much in FSD jail. It would not activate for at least a week, or you could not reactivate it for a given week. Now they've actually put that on normal autopilot as well. So if you're not paying attention and you're just using basic autopilot, if you do not pay attention, it beeps at you and it gets deactivated 5 times, it will deactivate autopilot for at least a week before you can re-enable it again. And for me, I use FSD and stuff a lot when I'm on the highway, so I would not want it to be gone for an entire week. So please make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're holding the steering wheel when it tells you to hold it, because I don't want to see an autopilot jail. So just keep that in mind. Cabin camera, same stuff. They just want to ask you if you will allow them to monitor your cabin camera to improve safety features, which they have done. So you kind of could choose that. Over there recall, I just kind of explained that, but yeah, in accordance to recent recall, they had to make some changes. I haven't really seen a big difference other than that basic autopilot gel that they've added, and as well as with the FSD. So now even if you don't have FSD, you need to pay attention, make sure, because they will deactivate your autopilot and for at least a week. And for me, I don't like that because, for me, I paid for Autopilot. When I got my vehicle, Autopilot was separate. It was $5,000 and FSD was another $3,000. Now you get Autopilot with the car. So they have more of an argument that they couldn't deactivate if they choose to. So just make sure you're paying attention. And other than that, more minor updates. I did also get single pull to start Autopilot. So previously, you have to hit down the stalks twice to activate FSD or Autopilot, one down for cruise control. Now, in the settings, you can toggle to make it so that only one pull will activate FSD or Autopilot. So I actually added that because I rarely use just basic cruise control. And then destination charging availability. So if you're going to a supercharger, you can actually see, which style. Well, you can't see the specific stalls, but you can see how many are in use and how many are available. Now you can do the same thing with the destination chargers. So just the level 2 chargers that are at, the mall, the hotels, things of that nature. You can also see if the Tesla ones are actually in use or full. So that's great for them to add, because I book hotels. I've driven to hotels for work, and I never know if they're all in use. So it's good to see that they will show if they're in use or not. So yeah, that was pretty much the holiday update for the 2018 Tesla Model 3. Let me know what you guys think of that update. If you have a Tesla, if you have a newer Tesla, what do you think? I will say the main difference is that the newer Teslas do get a Tesla Vision for those that have hardware for it. If they're going in reverse or in the middle of trying to find a parking spot, it kind of brings up a 3D top view camera for them, so they can see what their surroundings is looking like. I don't think it's better than some of the other automakers' camera system or top view camera system, because it's more clear. It's what those cameras pretty much were made for. Tesla is pretty much using the hardware that they have currently in their cars to bring new features. So I think it's a good step. I think it's great, but I don't think it's as good as like the Lucid camera or the Porsche and things like that. And so I'm supposed to get in my car eventually, but hopefully, it comes sooner rather than later. I will say, when I'm going in reverse, I have seen that there are lines that show up on the visualization screen, not just the backup camera, but on the screen itself, to show what direction your car is moving in when you're going in reverse. So that was something I did pick up due to this holiday update. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, let me know what you guys think of the holiday update. Once again, thank you guys for subscribing, liking my videos. Truly means a lot. If you have any questions, definitely comment below. I will definitely get to those as soon as possible. If I don't see you guys again before the end of the year, which I probably won't, Happy New Year, happy 2023, and let's get started with 2024 in a positive manner. Talk to you guys later.